I was looking at both of you. One eye had I had a right eye on you and a left eye on Drew.
It's better than your usual cross-eyed.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah.
Drew, go for it. I'm sure you had a better weekend than me.
Yeah, just
He always does.
Just a nice weekend.
Yeah.
Jamie, all the kids and grandkids all called, and she was happy.
Yeah.
And, Bella went and got her something. Had to go and get her a little treat for the mom.
Okay.
And then, went out to dinner last night.
Yeah, where'd you go?
Taratai. She went to Thai.
I love Taratai.
They
Nice.
did a great job. Food was excellent.
Good. I bet they were busy all weekend.
You say, it's not that I forgot. I just didn't think it would be that busy that late.
Right. Well, they had the festival
packed.
downtown.
It
yeah.
was packed
Yeah.
downtown. But there was a lot of activity going on. It was
Good.
Nice weekend. Got my flower beds all ready to go, so I can plant next week.
Okay.
After Mother's Day.
Right.
Plant, folks.
Well, not this year because I made it.
You're lucky. That's all I can say.
made it. I mean, I was concerned a couple of those nights when it got really cold, but yeah, I took a chance. I didn't plant anything. I just had them in pots on my back deck. Okay. So I would move them undercover, right? But anyway, well, good. I'm glad you had a good weekend. And Matt, did you call your mom on Mother's Day?
Of course, like 3 times.
Okay, good.
She was very sad, so I called her multiple times.
Oh, she was sad. Why was she sad?
She can't leave.
Oh.
It makes her very upset that she can't leave and go visit, me and Booger.
Right.
And I mean, sometimes my sister.
Why can't she leave?
Because she's having medical stuff with her leg, and she has to go see a doctor 3 to 4 times a week, and it's a lot. And I'm sure there's doctors up here that'll be able to help out, but she's going there. I mean, they're basically friends at this point.
Right.
And they always ask about her movie reviews.
Too bad you guys couldn't go see your mom.
Oh, I'm going to.
She can't get out. Okay.
Oh, I'm going to.
Okay, good.
But not, because her birthday is at the end of the month, so I picked a weekend in the middle.
Perfect. Aren't you smart? Good.
But,
good son.
Okay, so you want me to start from Sunday and go backwards because we need to talk about Friday?
Well, we'll get there. We'll get to Friday.
Okay, well, Sunday.
Yeah.
I flew all day.
You did.
It was excellent.
Nice.
It was just really hot.
We golfed yesterday, and it was hot. There was no breeze. I'm like, okay, now I'm not going to complain because I know spring in Prescott is usually very windy. But it wasn't. Or there was no wind yesterday at all.
That's why I kept flying. It came up here and there in Chino, but not like anything super crazy.
Right.
And so I just stayed.
Yeah.
I just stayed all day.
Good.
It was
I'm glad you had
awesome.
Fun. Good for you.
And then Saturday was a very big deal.
Yeah.
Trails for Tatas go topless.
Yes, no wonder your noggin's tan.
No, that's from the flying.
Whatever. And
but I was topless.
You had fun on the trail.
I was topless, and everybody said I had to put a shirt on.
Yeah. Oh, I'm pretty
sure.
Yeah.
When you have when you have a pancake breakfast and a taco bar, they're like, yeah, sir, we need you to be closed.
To cover up. Yeah.
Rude.
Did D-Money go with you on Saturday?
Yes.
Did she enjoy it?
She loved it.
Okay,
she had a great time. She wore her Trails for Tatas hat, her pink shirt.
Nice. She was all set.
It was a good day.
Perfect.
It was an excellent day.
So then that takes us to Friday, and Matt and I, along with a bunch of our friends, went to Whiskey and Ivory for their soft opening. It was so much fun. Did we not have a blast?
The parts I remember, it was fun.
I mean, we had Carol, we had Ken, we had Karen, we had Tracy, Matt, D-Money, Leza, and Scott, and we just had the best time.
Although I have one complaint.
Oh, of course you do. I'm surprised it's only one.
Only one.
It's your complaint.
Oh, what was my complaint?
Oh, great. She doesn't remember. That's not good.
Well,
we requested Copacabana.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't get the Copa.
Actually, I threw down a 20 for Copacabana, and I didn't hear it. So we learned something.
If they don't know your song, don't throw down a 20.
Yeah, right.
That's what I'm guessing. They didn't know it.
Yeah, well, how can they not know Copa? Everybody knows the words to Copacabana.
Even Drew.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sing it, Drew.
Go for it.
The
Copacabana. Yeah, so, but that, I mean, the hottest spot north of Havana, here at the Copa. I used to be a big Barry Manilow fan when I was a kid. Loved the guy. Still love him. Just don't listen quite as often, but yeah. But the event was so nice, you guys. The place was packed.
Oh, it was beautiful.
And it was by invitation, so they had their whole family there to christen the new establishment, and everything was just top notch. I mean, down to the little lights on the tables and the heavy crystal glasses that the drinks were served in. I mean, beautiful. Every last detail. Matt and Marco know how to do it, and they did it right. Yes, and the music was great, and the dueling pianos was fun. So
you've been missing all these years.
All these years.
All these years.
Yep.
You could have been like on the top of the piano doing your gig.
Well, and we had Marco singing.
Never.
He was singing most of the night, and Candace Devine jumped on stage and sang a tune for us, and it was really, really fun. So congratulations to Matt and Marco for bringing something new to Prescott. Everybody's going to get to enjoy it. Their grand opening is this weekend.
Oh, it is.
And they highly recommend people go online and make a reservation. It doesn't cost anything. There's no admission, but it just basically secures a spot for you at a table.
Yeah, you're going to want to do that, or else you're going to be standing outside. It's going to be packed.
Next time I'm sitting at the bar, though. They have a beautiful lit bar. It's long, goes the whole entire side of the side of the wall, whatever.
Bar wall side?
Bar wall side. Bar wall side, yes. And then they have couches and coffee tables, and it was just really cool. So we kicked off our weekend in style.
Well, there was a big party, or else we would have taken over the whole bar.
Well, we
so we had to be in the party area.
Yep. And all the employees, their first night out, they all worked very hard to make everybody happy, and turned out great. So my daughter, darling doll of a daughter, Dempsey, she's the firstborn, made me a mom almost 30 years ago. Ouch. She came up for the weekend, and she brought a huge bouquet of flowers and surprised me, put it by my bed, and Scott had some beautiful flowers. So my weekend was filled with flowers, festivals, and fun, because we went down to the Mother's Day Fine Art and Wine Festival downtown Prescott on Saturday, and it wasn't very crowded.
Wow.
Which was actually really nice.
Well,
I figured it would have been.
What time did you get there?
We went around lunchtime, and it wasn't a ton of people, and we actually got food from one of the food trucks, and it was just a nice, quiet, fun weekend.
Nice.
Yeah.
We know that's all we talk about here is food, so what did you get?
I got a pollo burrito from the Something Brothers food truck. We all got Mexican. And we sat on a bench at the courthouse and just watched people come and go. And, so it was really lovely.
How much did you spend?
I didn't spend a cent. Scott Dandos, on the other hand.
Okay, all right. There we go.
Yeah, he was fitting the bill for the weekend, but we had a really great time. So I hope every mom out there had a happy Mother's Day and felt really special. Oh, and then I got a delivery from my my other darling doll of a daughter, Delaney, and her family in the mail yesterday afternoon. So it's just a really nice weekend.
Was he your granddaughter? Did she mail her?
I wish.
Well, you mentioned, I saw a lot of flowers, and of course, I made a run down to Allen's because you get something there, you never go wrong.
Right.
And you could not believe how busy that
was. I bet.
Rahini was just full tilt boogie.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, hard to go wrong with flowers and truffles.
Yeah.
You're never going to get a unhappy customer.
Exactly. You should see this flower arrangement that I got from Allen's that Scott ordered. It had hydrangeas in it, and calla lilies, orchids, roses, some and other things. But the hydrangea, there must have been 4 hydrangeas in this thing. Oh, and peonies. Peonies the size of your head.
Wait, what?
I love peonies. They're one of my favorite flowers.
I was trying to figure out what you just said.
Peonies.
Okay.
Yeah. So they did not disappoint, and so anyway, I had a really happy Mother's Day. I hope everybody did as well. And I have to tell you that we're not doing Monday morning quarterbacking today because we have a very important guest and a very serious topic to discuss. We have Conrad Jackson, wildfire risk manager with the Prescott Fire Department, coming in. So tomorrow, join us for Tuesday morning quarterbacking.
But
Is that a thing?
I miss John already.
I know. He's right in the office right next door.
I do see John every day, but I don't see my buddy Conrad every day.
Right.
So that's nice.
That's right. So just FYI, today is National Eat What You Want Day. Didn't we just have that?
Every day is Eat What We Want to hear.
At the Leza Live Show, yes, it is.
Well, pretty much. It's also World Ego Awareness Day. You're great, but you're not that great. Do we know any giant egomaniacs? Maybe.
No comment.
Maybe. We're not looking at you, Drew.
Thank goodness.
We're not looking at you.
I'm not looking at you at all, Drew. I'm not putting you on the screen at all.
No. It's National Twilight Zone Day.
Sweet.
Commemorating the show that premiered on CBS in 1959. And it's Women's Checkup Day. All right? Second Monday in May, part of National Women's Health Week. Today focuses on the importance of routine doctor visits, catching potential problems before they get out of control. And that's a perfect time for me to tell you where you should go for that. Ladies, you know how important it is to have a doctor who gets you. And at Prescott Women's Clinic, professionals are caring for women with experience, compassion, and heart. If it's your first visit, you're going to feel welcomed. If you are growing your family or you're looking at that next chapter in life, their incredible team at Prescott Women's Clinic is right there with you every step of the way. They listen, they care, and they actually make you feel seen, because at Prescott Women's Clinic, your health is personal and, of course, important. Make an appointment today to go see the doctor and check everything out. 928-778-4300 is the number. You can also make that appointment online at PrescottWomen'sClinic.com. Welcome back to Leza Live on the News, 103.5 FM, KYCA on a Monday. So happy to welcome back in studio with us Conrad Jackson, Wildfire Risk Manager with the Prescott Fire Department. Good morning, Conrad.
Good morning, Leza. Good morning.
You are always on my mind because I live in the Pines, the tall pines of Prescott, Arizona. And especially at this time of year, you know, everybody kind of goes into... We hold our breath, we cross our fingers, and we do what we can to prepare for the oncoming wildfire season. I mean, you say that it's all year round now, right?
It is all year round, but we definitely go into peak season right now, right?
Yes.
I mean, and it's like this weekend it flipped the switch.
Yeah.
Right? It went from being, just kind of nice
right.
and get kind of chilly in the mornings to, oh, wow, I step outside in the morning and get in the truck, and it's like, oh, it's already warm, and now it's hot.
Yeah, exactly. But we did not see the winds this weekend that we're generally used to this time of year, which was a blessing.
Yeah, you remember we used to do, at Watson Lake, we used to do the kite event at the beginning of May because it was so reliably windy.
Yes, absolutely. But I just thought it would be a great time to have you come in and get us prepared as we can be for, what could happen next. And so let's start with how bad is it right now as far as wildfire risk in our area?
So the indices suggested it's obviously as bad as everybody is kind of anecdotally thinking it is.
Yeah.
Our 1,000-hour fuels, which are the really big materials, those are kind of on par with how dry they would normally be.
Okay.
There was some fluctuation. They were getting really, really dry, and then we had a couple little impulses of moisture that kind of brought stuff up, and so that helped put everything back at average for the really big stuff.
The big stuff.
But for everything smaller than that, wicked dry, just super dry. And then we look at what's called the ERC, the energy release component, and the way I describe it to folks is like when you do a campfire and you're out camping, maybe there's leftover material in the morning, the unburned piece of logs and stuff like that. It didn't get totally consumed.
Yeah.
Well, the ERCs right now are, if it gets on fire, it's going to ash. We're going to moonscape stuff. It's really, really going to be intense. So we really need folks to be paying attention to what they're doing out there.
Yeah.
John Ross and I were talking before I came in here, just the human factor, because most of our wildland fires are human caused.
Right.
So, flicking cigarettes out the windows, dragging chains, pulling hot vehicles over into tall grass when you pull off the road or something like that. Those are like super, super welding, also super common.
Mm-hmm.
So we really need folks to pay attention to the human ones that are totally avoidable. That's shame on us, right?
Yes.
So we can get through a wildland season if we can get people to make good decisions.
Right. And we have a really unique situation because we have a lot of people that don't live here, that come here from other places, that don't realize what we realize on a daily basis living in the Tall Pines. I mean, and they come up and they're not as aware. And, we welcome them every weekend throughout the summer, but we want them to be vigilant as well. I'm curious to know how we can do that. How can we keep an eye on the visitors?
How do we keep an eye on the visitors? Oh, my gosh.
He's grabbing his head.
Yeah, I am. I'm grabbing my I don't know how you get that message across effectively and efficiently. I mean, maybe we need more billboards coming into town saying, just pointing out to people, please don't do the following.
Right.
And invariably, like when I was on an engine, we would respond to houses that were having warming fires in the evenings. They're up from the valley. This is kind of, it's cool, and this we're camping, and so maybe at their Airbnb or whatever, they're in the backyard and they've got this big blazing fire, and everybody in the neighborhood's calling it into the
we have
to
we have one of those in our neighborhood.
Yeah, and so we see that, and so we end up sending engines over to say, hey, maybe this isn't a good idea. I mean, they can have it, and even when we start going into the early level fire restrictions, you can still have a warming fire, but just because you can doesn't mean you necessarily should.
Right.
And I even had a neighbor that was burning during fire restrictions. He was burning brush in his backyard, and I went through the woods between our houses and popped out in his backyard. I'm like, what are you doing? And he's looking at me. I'm like, we're on fire restrictions. And he's like, oh, we are? And I'm like, are you kidding me? And he didn't even have a hose. He didn't have a tool. He was just burning brush in his backyard. Oh my gosh.
I mean, and if you are going to have a warming fire, when it is legal and unrestricted, you need to have a fire extinguisher, a hose, something right there ready to go.
Yes, you do.
Just in case.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with having that warming fire. It's just do it in an intelligent fashion.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so it's dry and the risk is high, and there's a lot of things people can do as far as getting their own homes ready just in case. Something we should keep up all year round, right?
We should. Well, again, and it's a lot easier to do the maintenance when it's not 90 degrees outside, too. I mean, I did a lot of maintenance on my own home this past weekend, and I was like, it's starting to get a little hot out there. The city, we actually offer a couple different support services for folks. One is if you just don't know what you're supposed to do or have you done enough, we'll come out and do a courtesy inspection for you. We'll do it. We do it for free. There's no charge. We put it on the calendars. We send some folks out, and you end up with a photographic report with all the good things and the things you need to work on on the property, and you kind of use that as a reference list going forward for these things, because some people just flat out don't know.
Right. And do people utilize that service often?
Last year, I think because of the LA fires, it was very much on everybody's radar. But this year, we are seeing a marked drop in the number of folks that are getting courtesy inspections. And for me, as the wildfire risk manager, I'm like, oh, this is not good. We need people to be more on ball this year even than last year.
Right.
And we're not seeing that, and it just terrifies me.
Sure it does.
Yeah. So.
Sure it does.
So we'd love to see people getting these courtesy inspections, or at least going to PrescottFire.org and looking at our reference material, or Firewise USA and look at their reference material. Okay. But in support of that too, if you go out there and say you're going to limb up a bunch of branches off the trees and stuff like that, the city will come and chip those for you. Yeah. We'll come every Friday. We send a crew out and they go around town and they chip up the work that the citizens have been doing. That is an incredibly popular program. It's so well received. We get so much good feedback. In fact, it's so popular now, we had to divide the city into portions. So the crew will chip one part of town every Friday, and it takes about 5 weeks for them to get through every zone of the city, because it's become so popular and is so well utilized. Right. So we do that, but then we have some folks that can't do that. They need to hire somebody to come and do the work for them, and that's perfectly fine. The city actually offers a $500 reimbursement program. So if the landscaping bill to do that Firewise implementation on your property is going to be over $1,000, the city will actually pay you $500 back. Wow! But you have to go through the steps.
Sure, you do.
So there's a grant process on PrescottFire.org that people can put in, because you can't just show up at my office and say, "Hey, I just paid,
here's my bill."
Yeah, I just paid Bob's landscaping company, $3,000 to do my property. Give me my $5,000. Right. And that's not how it works. There's a whole process. So you take pictures of what you're gonna do. You take pictures of what the bid looks like. I come out and verify that what is happening is actually Firewise and defensible space related.
And not pruning.
Yeah. Or we're going to plant a couple, pomegranate trees over there. No, that's not what this is for. This is for doing improvements that make your home more wildfire resilient. Yes. So, but it's available, and again, very underutilized. Just going to ask. $500 to have the work done that you were going to have done anyway. Right. And it's just underutilized. And I even expanded the program, because prior to my time in this seat, the program was already in existence, but that you had to live in a Firewise certified neighborhood. Okay. So if you weren't in a Firewise recognized neighborhood, you weren't eligible for that. Okay. So last year, City Council expanded the budget for me and let me also give it to people who aren't in Firewise neighborhoods. So I have like twice the budget to work with. Right. And again, people aren't following the process. They're not putting in for it.
I wonder if they just don't know.
I think that is. And
that's get the word out.
And that's why I do. I constantly mention it when I do presentations to whatever Sunrise Lions or whoever. These are things I make sure that people are aware that we offer this. Yeah. This is available to you.
Right. And it just benefits everybody. If you keep your yard maintained and has defensible space, and then you get $500 back. I mean, it just is a win-win for everybody.
It is, and it's interesting. Like, if you prepare your house for a hurricane, it doesn't benefit your neighbor. Right. You prepare your house for a wildfire. Everything that we do benefits our neighbors, because we're reducing that profile of embers landing in the neighborhood and catching a house on fire. Yeah. And then once we start getting a couple houses on fire, it becomes an urban conflagration. It's not about the trees burning anymore. It's about the houses burning. Yes. And that's a whole entire different beastie.
Absolutely. So let's kind of talk specifics of what people can be doing. How far should they clear the brush away from their property? And the ladder fuels, if you will.
Oh, I love it when you talk with your hands like that. It's so good for the radio.
I'm worrying that I'm not using the right terms. So, what specifically? can people, if they're listening right now and they've got the day, they're like, I'm going to go do a little bit of
so
that.
let's work our way out from the start. What's the thing that we're trying to save? The thing we're trying to save is the house.
Right.
So let's make sure we start there.
Okay.
Get the pine needles leaf litter off the roof, out of the rain gutters, out of where it is piled up against over the course of the winter where the winds have been blowing and it's, kind of like eddies and it pushes all that stuff up against the walls. All that away. So clean the house.
Yeah.
If you're thinking about like your patio furniture, probably is flammable. Well, the cushions on it.
Right, yeah.
So make sure that that's gapped away from the house, that it's not right underneath the eaves where it to ever catch on fire, or right in front of glass windows where it might crack the glass.
Oh, gosh, that's exactly where mine are.
It
so
is for
pull
most,
them away.
It is for most people.
Or put them away, right?
Right.
Or
Pull them away, or if you're going to go out of town for a few days.
Put them inside.
Yeah, throw them in the garage.
Okay.
So that's the house.
Okay.
But then there should be absolutely nothing combustible within 5 feet of the walls of your house. Nothing.
Yeah.
Leftover wood piles from the winter, lumber piles for that next project that you're going to do, bushes, shrubbery,
even green bushes.
Well, yeah, and so people go like, "Oh, well, it's on irrigation." Well, the studies have shown us that even if it's on irrigation and it's a moist plant, if it's receiving a heavy exposure from, say, the other plants that are further out and they're on fire, within minutes it will dry that plant down to the point that it didn't matter anymore. Wow. You're buying a couple minutes by having it on irrigation. You're not resolving the problem. You're not making it okay to have plants right next to your house. You're just giving them a little bit better chance.
Okay.
But if we can get 5 foot all the way around, your house's the structure itself can often tolerate that heat exposure, that enough heat dissipates in that 5 feet that the materials there can tough it out. They may get bubbled, they may get charred, but they're probably not going to auto-ignite at that point. But you got to give it 5 feet.
5 feet.
5 feet. So past that. So from 5 feet to 30 feet out, we really, really don't want to see a whole lot of material in there.
Okay.
It's absolutely okay to have trees. It's okay to have bushes. Let bushes be bushes. Don't do the weird thing where you see people trim the bottoms of the branches off and it looks like some weird Dr. Seuss thing. Please don't do that to the bushes. The bunnies and the birds appreciate it if you let the bush be a bush.
Right.
Trees, on the other hand, if it's a tree, it should be limbed up 6 feet high.
6 feet high.
6 foot. That's the standard.
Okay.
Now, that means also nothing underneath it. So if you cut the limbs off it doesn't mean you leave bushes underneath that canopy. So that's the ladder fuels that you were talking about.
Right.
And so we don't want any ladder fuels underneath that canopy of that 6 feet lift.
Okay.
Now, we also have juniper trees here. Juniper trees tend to not be super tall, and they often are just kind of squatting around, right? If you trim that up 6 feet, you're going to make weird-looking juniper trees.
Yes.
So please don't do that either. We tell people take the bottom third of the limbs just to get it up off the ground. So if there's a low-intensity grass fire or something like that coming through, or it's in your mulch or something like that, you still give that juniper a good chance to not become involved.
Okay.
So short, squatty ones, just take off the bottom third just to give it that gap. And then make sure we've got all the ladder fuel stuff gone. And then anything that's dead and dying, standing or laying on the ground should be gone.
Right.
But the question becomes, like, well, how spaced out should stuff be? If you're in that 5 to 30 feet, you really want 10 to 15 feet between canopies, not between tree trunks.
Right, between canopies.
Yes, between canopies of large mature trees. And then if you have bushes, you probably don't want more than 2 or 3 bushes making an island together.
Okay.
And so those islands of bushes, again, 10 to 15 feet apart.
Right.
So that pretty much tells you what you ought to do in that, what we call zone 2, which is at 5 foot to 30 foot. From 30 foot out to 100 foot, or your property line, whichever comes first.
Yeah.
Exactly the same principles, but at that point, the gapping between those canopies is more like 6 feet. So I tell people, if you can walk around out there with your arms spread out and not be smacking into branches,
you're okay.
You're introducing some nice breaks between the vegetation.
Okay. All right. Great advice. We all should heed it today if you haven't done it already.
I was working on it this weekend.
Yep, absolutely. All right. We're talking with Conrad Jackson, Wildfire Risk Manager with the Prescott Fire Department. We will have more with Conrad coming up. If you have a question for Conrad, the number's 928-541-1016. The lines are open, and I'm sure you would love to answer any questions people may have out there. That's coming up. Right now, if you love stunning handcrafted jewelry, you absolutely do not want to miss this event. It's coming up on Friday, May 15th, and Saturday, May 16th, from 10 to 5:30 at Black Arrow Native American Jewelry and Art. They are hosting the highly anticipated return of the David Rosales Trunk Show. Meet the world-renowned jewelry designer in person, along with his daughter, Cherie. Explore their amazing new earrings, necklaces, cuffs, and bracelets, handcrafted by Native American artisans for both men and women. Make your plans now to head on down to the gallery starting at 10 on Friday, May 15th, and Saturday, May 16th. You can find them downtown, right across from the Courthouse Plaza, and we'll see you there. Welcome back to Leza Live on the News, 103.5 FM KYCA. We're talking with Conrad Jackson, the wildfire risk manager from Prescott Fire Department this morning. And Matt has a question.
I just got like a really hardcore glare from Conrad, and I think he knows what I'm going to ask.
I don't know. I have
Keep
no idea.
Keep it on topic,
Oh,
Matt.
it's on topic. So last year at the Christmas parade, your fire truck broke down during the parade.
Uh-oh.
Is it better now? Is it going to be okay to go now?
We're working that.
Because I love that fire truck. I rode on the back of that thing.
So yes, it just doesn't like going very, 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 very slow in a parade scenario.
Sure.
Well, that's smart. It's a fire truck.
But it was hilarious when it happened. I mean, it was mortifying for me because it died right there in front of Chris Kuknio. And he looked at me and he goes, "What do you need, a push?" And I went, "Yes." And he goes, "Are you serious?" And so he's like, "Come on, everybody." And like the entire crowd jumps up, starts pushing on the engine. Thank God I still know how to pop a clutch, you know. So we pop the clutch. Nobody breaks a nose in the process. It fires right up, and the crowd went wild.
I bet. You're like,
Yeah.
I planned that.
Yeah,
I planned that.
Yeah, no,
I
it was
love
mortifying. But actually, since that happened, we blew a gasket on the oil filter, and it's kind of hard to find a 60-year-old gasket to go to that one. So we're on the hunt still. But once we get that gasket back in place, we'll be up and running for the parade.
Perfect.
Big deal for this parade, though. The Frog, the 1926, our original fire truck, turns 100 this year.
Can you believe that?
So the Rodeo Days folks have granted us permission to have a fairly large contingent for the parade, and we are going to have the original 100-year-old fire truck, followed by the Prescott Antique Auto Club's 1931 engine, followed by the 57, which is mine, followed by our most contemporary ladder company.
Neat.
And so
we're
gonna have a 4-vehicle entry that is just, I mean, that's a lot of footprint. When it's all said and done, we're gonna fill it up with retired firefighters and current firefighters. So we're really, really excited.
That's gonna be very cool to look forward to.
You got my vote.
We have another question. We have caller Ted Gambogi on the line. Good morning, sir.
Hey, I just wanted to send kudos. I had Conrad come out and do an assessment on the house. I had been doing my Firewise effort every year, maybe taking 60 pickup truck loads off the yard. And when I hired somebody to come in, they took 20 in one shot. So
wow.
I've learned a lot about Firewise, and I wholeheartedly endorse what Conrad's doing, and also suggest that everyone listening follow Conrad's advice, have him come out, do an assessment, and do some cutting. Thank you, Conrad.
Oh, thank you for the support, Ted. Appreciate it.
Yes, thanks for calling, Ted.
Take care.
Bye-bye. Yeah, I mean, it's just, like we just said, it benefits our whole community. So let's talk a little bit about the Prescott Fire Department and CAFMA jointly working on you called it a CWPP.
Yes.
Which is a community-wide protection plan.
Close.
Yeah. Oh, what'd I say?
You say, no, it's Community Wildfire Protection Plan.
Oh, what did I say?
I don't know, community-wide, I think.
Wide. Okay.
So a Community Wildfire Protection Plan is basically a strategic plan for what we want our fire service to be doing and addressing in the years to come. It's a strategic plan specifically focused on wildfire. But when we focus on it, it kind of falls naturally into 3 different categories of things that we want to be looking at. And so one of those is what we call built environment. So are we making our roads in an appropriate size? Do we have evacuation plans in place? Is the brush being cut back from those evacuation routes? Are we using appropriate wildfire building codes that would have buildings that are resilient to wildfire? So that's built environment stuff. But we also have, I think everybody else kind of focuses more on vegetation, environmental stuff.
Sure.
So like, are we doing mastication projects? Are we doing thinning projects? Where do we need to focus our efforts in town? And then the third area is the suppression component. So do we have enough wildland engines? Are folks receiving the proper training? Are we going here, there, and everywhere around the nation, learning more from, doing responses elsewhere in the nation and then bringing that knowledge back? So those are the kind of like the 3 areas.
Okay.
But what's interesting about a CWPP is it's not just the firefighters deciding what is important going forward. It is literally community driven. So Chief Schuster with Central Arizona Fire and Medical Authority, he and I have been working on this for a few months now. We've actually got the surveys work down now, so we can start getting input from radio hosts and medical professionals and realtors and business folks. So folks, not just the firefighters, are saying what's important, but the community itself says, this is what's important to me. And as an example, and this is an example I use frequently, we do a lot of prescribed fire here. Prescott National Forest is stellar in their prescribed fire program, but it's not always well received. And why is it not always well received? The smoke. Right. So in Flagstaff, they too do a lot of prescribed fire. They have a program that say you're an asthmatic and the smoke's starting to land for the evening and you're just like, oh, this is terrible, I can't breathe. In Flagstaff, you can pick up the phone and you can call the number, and Noah, that's his name, Noah will pick up the phone at whatever hour. He will go down to a Connex box, pull out a HEPA filtration system, deliver it to your house to help filter the smoke in the house. Amazing. That's something that Flagstaff is doing. Right. Should we do that here? Right. Well, yes. Anecdotally, I'll tell you, I think that's probably a pretty good idea. But do you feel that way? Does Matt feel that way? Does Drew feel that way? That's
if it helps. I'm thinking,
So, but in doing the survey work for the CWPP, which is the kind of the stage that we're in right now, is to gather what's important to the community, so we can kind of pick out, top 5 to 10 in each of those built environment, vegetation and suppression components. Right. And develop that document, and this is not a fast process. I mean,
I can imagine.
No, because once we have an idea of like these are the top 10s for each of those categories, we still don't want the Alan and I don't want to be the ones to make that decision. Sure. We want buy-in from the community. Sure. So at that point, we're going to have working groups for each of those categories, and have those folks winnow it down to say 5.
Okay.
Well, and I'm just using those as round numbers. Sure. We see what we get when we get there, right?
Right.
So have those groups winnow it down, and not only that, not just say this is important, but have them work on how would we get there? Is this grant? Is this tax? Is this public education? What are the things that need to happen to make us achieve those goals, and kind of set what the goal is, set how we would get there, and set when we would get there by. So very classic strategic planning stuff at that point. So, but again, it's kind of cool. We'll have firefighters as a piece of the development of that document, but it is going to rely heavily on the community involvement.
And who are you reaching out to, and how do people get a survey if they're interested?
So we're just, like I said, we're just finished up with the survey. Right. So we just got it approved from both of our chiefs.
Okay.
Actually, we may see it as early as the end of this week, because I've been working with the Courier, and so the Prescott Daily Courier agreed to let me do a series of articles, and in one of those articles I talk about the CWPP, and I have provided them with a QR code image.
Perfect.
No, I don't know what they're going to end up publishing or not publishing as a part of that series of articles, but hopefully we'll see it as early as this week.
Good.
But then Chief Schuster and I will also be doing public presentations. We'll do, because this is a joint effort. We'll be doing one out in the Prescott Valley, Dewey Humboldt area. We'll do one here in Prescott. We'll do one out in Chino. So we can also have like some face-to-face time, not just survey work, because it really have that exchange.
Okay. Well, people, keep your eye out for that article and the QR code. And, if you're interested in your voice being heard on this survey, I mean, I'm assuming anybody can take it.
Oh, we want everybody to take it. Yeah, because this is a joint effort. So we're looking all the way from Paulden all the way down to Dewey Humboldt.
Right. Okay, very good. We're going to take another break. When we come back, more with Conrad Jackson here on Leza Live. Stay with us. So let's be honest. You think your tap water's clean, but you've tasted it. Chlorine, sediment, mystery minerals, forever chemicals. You and your family deserve better, and that's why I love H2O Health and Water Solutions in the Pine Ridge Marketplace. I got their whole home water filtration system that gives you pure, safe, delicious water from every tap, every shower, every load of laundry, every sip. It's like upgrading your entire home's health overnight. Don't settle for city water. Go clean, go pure. Call H2O Health and Water Solutions in the Pine Ridge Marketplace today, 928-899-7504, or just stop into the store and tell them Leza sent you. Welcome back to Leza Live on the News, 103.5 FM, KYCA. Just hanging out with Conrad Jackson, Wildfire Risk Manager from the Prescott Fire Department this morning, talking about being prepared for wildfire season. And the city of Prescott's looking to adopt the most current wildland urban interface code, updating it from 2012.
2012 code is what we currently operate.
Right. So what are some of the big changes?
So there's probably three things that I would consider big changes for it. The first is that we right now, we only apply the code to about 80% of Prescott. Even though we know embers could travel the entirety of the distance, whenever we set the original boundaries, we just cut it off at 80% for whatever reason. So like over Cliff Rose and Prescott Lakes area, for whatever reason that wasn't put into it. We recognize the wildfire threat is everywhere in the community. So we would like to incorporate the entire city. Now, the kind of cool thing that comes along with that is like right now we're only doing 80%, but we require everybody to build to what is called IR1, like the most intense fire resistant everything about your structure. And if you think about it from a logical standpoint, if I'm building a house next to the golf course, I probably am not as much at risk as if I'm building a house over in, say, Hazley Homestead or the Ranch or something like that. On what we fundamentally think of like the southwest side of town, especially. So is it appropriate to build the houses the same when their immediate threat is not necessarily the same? So one of the things that comes along if we adopt the new code with 100% involvement is we will actually look at a risk mapping system that is going to evaluate, is the structure at risk from direct flame and embers? Is it just going to be an ember risk, or is it kind of far downstream and not so much? So we'll actually be able to let people build at different tiers instead of the highest tier all the time everywhere. So it'll do some cost savings for the more interior homes. It'll still be the same, necessities if it's a marginal, on the margins on the edge of town. So that doesn't really change. But so 100% of the city risk mapping will help us dial in more intense areas where we really need to be concerned versus less concerned. And then it'll establish a baseline. All houses will get Class A roofs. They'll have metal gutters. They'll have enclosed eaves, and then resistant sidings and stuff like that. So we're going to have this nice baseline to work off, but as you get closer to more threatened areas, higher needs. So, but the risk mapping thing's new. So it used to be risk mapping would just look at vegetation, but now there are more contemporary systems actually look at what the homes look like. And so which is kind of nice because we've been building. City of Prescott adopted the Wildland Urban Interface Code in 08. And so since 08, as a whole in the community, we've been building more resistive homes. We can get that into the mapping system and help get dialed into like which neighborhoods really are fundamentally more at risk. So for my boss, this is good for us to figure out what IR code we're going to build these different houses to. For me, as wildfire risk manager, I can also focus my educational and outward efforts to parts of town
that need
it the most first. So if we get any money, from a grant or something like we're going to start there because we don't want it to get a toehold in the neighborhood and go out from there.
Okay, well, that makes sense. We have one more segment coming up, and let's tell people how they can get themselves prepared other than their defensible space and everything we've been talking about.
Absolutely.
That's coming up on Leza Live. Stay with us. Thanks for hanging out with us. It's Leza Live on the News, 103.5 FM KYCA. We're talking with Conrad Jackson this morning, wildfire risk manager with the Prescott Fire Department. We've gone through a long list of things that people can be doing themselves and also services that are available to help you get to where you need to go or need to be as far as being fire-wise and defensible space around your home. But there are other things that we can be doing, some apps we can download, and also Ready, Set, Go.
Yeah, so we just need to recognize that this is an area that burns.
Yeah.
Whether or not it's human caused or when the monsoons get here and we start getting lightning strikes, we will have wildland fires.
Right.
And so we need to be prepared. And sometimes those fires are going to encroach in neighborhoods or they're going to threaten neighborhoods at a bare minimum.
Mm-hmm.
There is this misconception out there that folks think that somebody is going to come knock on the door and tell them it's time to evacuate.
Right.
And, I mean, we have very limited personnel and a whole lot of people living dispersed often through the woods. You know, the houses aren't necessarily smashed up against each other.
Right.
So that expectation is an unrealistic expectation to think an officer's going to knock on your door and tell you it's time to go. So we really need people to be proactive in their safety. And what the county and the cities use for their notification system is a program called Genesis Protect.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's Genesis spelt with a Y instead of an I, so Genesis Protect. And you can use that program in one of two ways. You can just go to their website and refer to it. And what we've done is we've divided the entire county and all the cities into little evacuation blocks.
Yes.
And so if you go to their site and you go look at their map, you can see what block you live in.
Mm-hmm.
So like for me, I live in PRC 073.
Right.
So if I was driving along and I hear Leza get on the radio and go, "Oh my God, we just got an evacuation. We got a go notification for PRC 073."
You know.
I would know
right.
oh shoot, that's my neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I could refer to it on the computer. So it's good to know your zone, just in case you do hear it on the radio.
Right.
But what's even better is if you download it as an app onto your phone.
Yes.
Because at that point, you can do a couple different things. You can always have it monitor your zone.
Mm-hmm.
In my case, my folks live south of town, so I have it monitor their zone. I have it monitor my zone. Right. And I even have it monitor
my zone.
Me. Your zone. But I actually have it because, like, if we evacuate Walker and I'm inside of Costco, there's no windows. I don't know anything's going on. I would receive a notification that something's going on.
Right.
So I have the app notify me where I'm standing. I have it always monitor my house, and I always monitor my mom's house. Okay. So what's even better about this notification system is because you're going to get an alert on your phone. It's going to have links. It's going to tell you, hey, we've got a fire in the Goldwater area, so evacuate to the north.
Right.
If you live, in this part of town.
It's very helpful.
So, and it also allows us to put in more information, like where is the Red Cross Center going to be? Evacuation at large animal shelters. Where's that going to be? If you need to take a horse or your goats or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So we can get out more information than the old school, blip on your phone. Yeah. There's an evacuation order.
So the app is Genesis Protect. We only have about 20 seconds, so I didn't mean to interrupt
Genesis
you.
Protect, yes.
I just want to make sure I have it on my phone. I'm sure that you have it on your phone because the last time you were here, you told us all to get it, and we did. And I've had, when a wildfire will start, even in Yarnell or something, it will tell me, that there's something going on. So everybody download the app. We're going to have Wildfire Wednesdays here on this show. Conrad will be joining us up into the monsoons to keep us all informed and help us be prepared.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Conrad. Thanks for listening.